Hello, thanks for joining me for another track guide here, Daily Race B around Dragon's Trail Seaside 2. So we're in the reverse layout of the track that we've already done a billion times, but I suppose at least it's a little bit more interesting to be in reverse and in the Group 3 cars this week as opposed to the Group 2 a couple of weeks ago. The best car to be in seems to be the GR Supra Racing concept, so definitely would say that is the best car. It's the one that's filling up the leaderboard at the moment and seems to be the best car for the race as well. The FT1 is also pretty decent, and I'm sure there's a couple of other cars that you can make work as well, but this seems to be the one for qualifying. If you're not familiar with driving this car too much, then you want to be short shifting the gears, so shifting about 75% of the way through, so around when the rev gauge gets to the number of the gear you're in. Just past that, you want to be shifting there to get the most out of this vehicle. Brake balance, you want to be on +1, so that's 1 to the rear. Found that the best to help with the rotation that you need on this track at certain points. And you're going to see that a lot of this is about being slow enough on the entry to some corners that you can hit your apex properly and be fast on the exit. I know that's the case a lot of the time, but it really is prevalent more than ever here. There's some long straights section when you're coming up the hill at the back, and then this final chicane before you go down the front straight, that would be the start grid. You can just lose so much time if you're not careful going through there. So as you can see, my previous best time starting out was a 38, so pretty awful really for what I was aiming for, and we're going to manage to improve that here a little bit, but ultimately I was aiming to get a low 137, and I hope later in the week that I will get a 37.2 or a 37.3, but this is definitely good enough to give you a bit of a guide for now. So I ended up getting a 137.8 on that lap, and we're going to aim to improve that on the next one. I left this little bit on the end here just so you can see what happens when you get the chicane wrong, the wrong way round. It is just as awful, if not worse, than when you're going the other way round. Here I just turn in a little bit too early, and that's it. Obviously you get a penalty for that. So first corner here, we're braking on the start of the curb. We want to slow down gradually into second gear. Really important to trail brake there. You want to lift off gradually on the brake, get on the power nice and early, short shift up to third. The earlier you can get on the power though, the more it will help the rotation of the car with coming round for that first corner. Now for the trickiest part of the track, we're going to start lifting around this curb here on the right. Aim to get 2 tyres up the inside, swing the car across, and then accelerate hard as soon as you've turned to the right. So as soon as you start turning towards that barrier, accelerate hard. Again, that will help with the car rotating around flat out through these curves. Brake in there just on the curb again, or just after. You want to take the narrow line on the inside, get down to second, try and hit that apex. I just missed that on the left there, but you're trying to hit that apex to get on the power again as early as possible for this important section coming up the hill. Coming up here, we're going to be looking out for the 50 board. No braking here, just a lift at the 50 and turn in. Turning in blind there, so you want to try and hit that apex again, lift and coast here again, and then you're going to go down to fourth for this corner to really swing the car in. Take plenty of this curb on the right and get on the power nice and early, up to fifth, short shifting as soon as you can. And now we're aiming towards the next curve just after the 100-meter board. Braking here, getting down to second gear. You can use second just for a moment to flick the car in, but then back up to second gear and get on the power as soon as you can get the car straight. Flat out around this left-hander, flat out around the right-hander here, and we're going to be looking for the curb on the right again to start braking. Initially down to third gear, turning in blind again. You've got to start turning in early for these apexes before you can see them. You use second for a bit here just to get onto this curb, and then accelerate quite aggressively off of there as you turn right to get the car to rotate. Switch to third, and then slight lift until you feel you can get back on the power fully, and then fully on the power in third gear. And that's pretty much it. Take a bit of this curb on the left here, just keep it nice and smooth, and it's all the way to the finish line. as you'll see, that's good enough for a 1:37.567, which at this time was pretty much good enough to be just a second around outside the top 10, which is what I aim for. So I hope that helps you with track guard a little bit. I'll put a bit on the end now with that lap replayed at normal speed so you can watch it. Good luck in your races this week, and watch out for the live streams. Hopefully we're doing a couple of them in the coming week. It is a better set of races, so look forward to seeing you there. Thanks very much.